Okay, you guys, this is a story time that I'm gonna do about basically my dad banned me for not fucking black thugs. And I know when I say this to you guys are kind of gonna think like, are you fucking serious? Yes, I'm serious. My dad basically threw me out of the house because I would not conform and fuck black thugs. And he was Mr. Malcolm X. He was really into all these movies like A Time to Kill. Anything that was about race and about how black people were fucked over, my dad was all about it, okay? He would intentionally invite my black and white friends over, and he would make us see these racial-filled movies like Burning Mississippi. And he would basically be like, yeah, your fucking people did that shit, motherfuckers. He'd make my friends feel bad about it. And I remember my sister was always really a fast ass, you know. She's younger than me. She's like around 24-ish, 25 now. Now, keep in mind, now they live in Arizona. We originally were living in San Diego. So you're talking about like in Canto, Skyline. Look up San Diego, California skyline. It has tons of crime. There's even a place that they call the Four Corners of Death, where it's unsafe. Like, I used to walk around, you know, to go to school and stuff like that, and it was literally unsafe for me. So anyways, let me tell you what happened. My dad was always wanting me basically to talk to black guys. The problem was, as being a military kid, the only black guys that I would see were military. I never had a problem with any black military guys, but I was so young, you know, 7, 8 years old, that it was like I wasn't even thinking about boys or guys around then. But when I got a little bit older, around 14, 15, when I was just living with my dad because my mom wasn't around anymore, we moved to a place called Encanto. Him and his new wife got a fucking house, and they was like, we gonna move you to the hood, girl, and you gonna be walking around here, and niggas gonna be like, yeah, baby, what's up? It was not something I was into. Me being a lighter skinned, you do know that when you're lighter skinned to a black guy, especially a dark skinned black guy, you're like kryptonite to them. If they can't get with a white woman, they will definitely try to get with your ass. So every time I'd walk down the street, niggas, and I'm going to say niggas, not black men, but niggas was like, damn, girl, look at you. I could eat you up. Now, keep in mind, I was going to school. I was a straight A student. I was also on the men's football team. So I was not the kind of chick that was really coy. And I could already tell that a lot of them had bad intentions because they look you up and down like, So I was already kind of weird about that. I was like, this nigga's trying to fuck me. I ain't gonna fuck your dark ass. But anyways, it wasn't really about that. I just didn't find a black guy that was respectable. A lot of them in that area, you know, they just didn't have any kind of class. I mean, if the guy sold drugs, I probably would have respected him more because he had something. But these is niggas that was selling 5 pieces of weed and shit, and they breath stank, they neck was dirty, they was wearing sweats, you know, they really didn't have their shit together, so I wasn't interested in even talking to them. Not just that, a lot of them already had baby mama drama, and that's not something that I really wanted to deal with. So anyways, as I'm going to school and stuff like that, I did try to date a couple of guys. I did try to go out with some Mexican guys. I really liked them. They were cool. But my dad was always like, you need to get with someone black. Like, black. And it didn't seem like he cared who they were. I did try hanging out with some black guys. I went out to the studio with some of them, and I would hang out with them. But a lot of times, we would go to the studio, and they would just have their friends there, and they were getting high. And then I would come home, and I smelled like weed in my hair because they were smoking in the car. I wasn't. And my dad was totally cool with that. You know, he didn't even care about the type of black guy. Now, keep in mind, my sister is with, she's not even with the guy. Actually, I'm going to say this. She's with a felon right now, okay? He's a felon. And that's not even her baby's daddy. Her baby's daddy is another black guy that's married in North Carolina. So this black guy came to Arizona, basically, and fucked my sister, and then took off back to North Carolina with his wife and child. So my sister has 2 illegitimate children. They're cute, the twins and all, don't get me wrong, but she's stuck with that shit for the rest of her life. She's stuck with that stigma. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be a single mom. I didn't want to be the type of person that is a baby mama drama. That to me, I felt like I was better than that. So anyways, my sister ended up getting pregnant with some guy's nigglets, and she's totally cool with that, and that's fine. My thing with my dad was also is he really did not want me to particularly be with white men. He was like, I don't want you talking with white men. Now look at my complexion, you guys. My mother was part white. She was mixed. She was Irish and Italian and black. So naturally, when he's telling me, don't you be around no white guys, it's insane. He wouldn't even let me go out on a date with a white guy. This white guy was in the military, and this white guy also had nice credit cards, and a nice car. He was a respectable guy, and he was in the military. But for some reason, my dad was like, no, you're not going to go on a date with him. You're not going to talk to him, nothing. You can't go on a date with my daughter. So I basically was like, whatever, this is bullshit. This was when I was like 15. So long story short, around when I was 17 and a half, he basically told me, bitch, I'm not helping you with shit. I got in the car one day and he was like, bitch, I'm not helping you with shit. You're not trying to carry on the black legacy and all this stuff. Now, I hadn't even had sex yet. I didn't have sex until I turned 18, and then I ended up marrying my actual husband that I've been with for 13 years. But I didn't even have sex yet. I wasn't even doing oral. You guys, I was fucking good, okay? Based on how my childhood was, I should have been out there fucking everybody, but I wasn't. I was good, I was good. I was a good girl. So, anyways, like a month after I turned 18, this motherfucker threw me on the street. Now, keep in mind, I had to call the cops to even get my belongings. Like, I had to call the cops so I can get my belongings. And the cops are looking at me like, why you kick your daughter out? Like, why are you kicking her out? And my dad was like, she 18. That was it. That was all he fucking said to me. Like, and he's like, she doesn't want to conform to my values. That was what they said, okay? Now, you gotta ask yourself, like, is my sister living better than me because she has nigglets illegitimately and the guy has no contact with her because he lives in another state? Is she living better than me? Does my dad hella respect her? Is she driving a Mustang? Is she like hella... No, she's not. She's, has a shitty $9 an hour job. She lives in Arizona. She's only paying maybe like $400 or $500 rent, but her place is shitty, okay? I'm gonna tell you the way it is. And then she's laid up with another nigga that has a felony, and that nigga can't even get a job. So, to me, I would rather not even fucking be in that situation, but she's allowed to be in his presence. See, when holidays come around, he don't call me or nothing. Like, he'll actually send me a card on my birthday, but if I was to text him, he will not reply to me. Yeah, like, he basically is like, acting like I don't fucking exist. So, there is no contact with this motherfucker. And that's cool, because I'm not like everybody else. I'm smart, and see, I value family. Look at this. San Diego family. Comic-Con kids. I value family, you guys, so I'm not like a person that is selfish, and it's not like I never wanted to be with a black guy, but he moved me to an area where there was none. So he basically used to tell me, when I used to tell him I don't like Usher because his personality really sucks, or I don't like certain celebrities because their personality is fucking whack, he'd be like, there ain't nothing wrong with Usher, there ain't nothing wrong with that black man. Well, statistically, and you guys know it, the majority of the unwed mothers are black women, and the majority of the black niggas, and I'm not going to say black men, but the niggas is knocking women up when they're taking off. And I don't want to be some guy's like hit piece, like fuck me and forget me and shit like that. Like, I'm cool with that. Also, I just think it was funny that he really wanted me to be with any kind of guy as long as the guy was black. Like, if the guy was like fucking ghetto, one guy, I tried to bring him over to the house and he was black, because I said, let me try to, get to know a guy that's black from my dad. Let me make him happy. And this one I was like 16 years old. This nigga was chewing on grains. He brought some grains and was like, what's up? He wasn't respectable. Nothing was respectable. This nigga was just bombity, okay? He literally wasn't even going to graduate high school. So I had to go and talk to his teachers and beg them, please let Jamal pass. He's my boyfriend at the time. Please let him pass. And they was like, girl, he don't even be coming to class. I don't know. Keep in mind, this nigga was shady, okay? He was whack, okay? He would basically be like, baby, I'm gonna take you out. We gonna go to a movie and shit. We gonna go eat, girl. We gonna do some shit. And he'd be like, girl, you gonna give me some of that booty? I said, nigga, please. Anyways, but no, he would basically be like, I'm gonna sell some shit real quick. I'm gonna go sell some stuff. And I don't mind a hustler. Me, I don't have an issue with a guy that sells drugs. I've dated guys that sold drugs. It doesn't really bother me. But he would literally be selling like a dime piece. Like, he'd come back and be like, girl, I got some money. And I'd be like, oh, how much you get? Girl, I got $20. I'm like, you don't got no car. 20 fucking bucks. So you want us to catch the fucking, so we're gonna have to catch a fucking trolley, okay? Because if you get an all-day pass in San Diego, it's like $5 to $6 each. So that's $12 just for us to travel all fucking day, okay? Then the movies. Now, you know movies in California ain't fucking cheap. So there's another fucking like $12 to $15 each right there. So how the fuck we gonna eat? How we gonna, like, how is this gonna work? No. So this nigga was bombing me, okay? Not just that, this nigga always was, you know, licking his fucking gums. Like, I tried kissing this nigga and his breath, no, it was not good. So we didn't kiss much. I mean, if I can't even kiss you without your breath stinking, then I don't want you touching me in my private parts. I don't feel comfortable having you there. Like, I'm sorry. So anyways, my dad was like, oh, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. You know, just give him a chance, can't you? Give him a chance. You know, he's a brother. He coming up. You know, he just having a hard time. He wasn't trying, you guys. I would be in my economics class, and this nigga would be like, Mr. Drake. Mr. Drake would be like, what do you want, Jamal? Can I see Candace? And my teacher, Mr. Drake, would look at me and be like, Candace, your boyfriend's at the door. All the kids in the school were like, girl, you with that ugly ass boy. He is ugly. He was not cute, you guys. He didn't get his hair cornrowed, nothing. And it wouldn't have mattered because all the guys in that area were the same. So I would be with my little Mexican friends, and we'd be walking with our books, and we'd be walking home, you know, talking about school. We would just talk about school. And basically, they would say, look at those guys over there. And I'd be like, I'm not really interested. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, girl, look, come over here. Why you looking on shy? Why you looking on, oh, look at your sexy ass, your light motherfucking ass. It was always something to do with, like, something stupid, something, you know, superficial. Like, they really never wanted to really get to know me as a person. If a guy would have busted out with some Edgar Allan Poe, or would have busted out with some, you know, Maya Angelou, or would have spit me some, you know, poem for the Harlem Renaissance, or, you know, told me they know how to read music or something like that, I would have totally been like, you know what, you're cool, I like you, you're stylish, you're artful. But a lot of them were just trying to follow the crowd of other niggas. And the problem is, there was another guy I was talking to named Brandon. So, you know, I did try to date black guys, I did, but Brandon he kind of reminded me of Lil Bow Wow. So one day I met Brandon, and I really thought he was attractive, and I was like, he's nice. So we were spending time together. And his friends got a little jealous. I mean, we would go to the studio, and he would, you know, do his rhymes, and he would play his little tape in the car of his music, and it was nice. Well, his friends started getting jealous, and they were like, is this bitch gonna put out, or she needs to get out? Because they basically wanted to stand on the street corner and try to basically bait women in, and because I was hanging out, they were concerned that they weren't going to be able to bait the women in a certain way, which doesn't make any sense because nobody was talking to them. Nobody was even walking on those streets. So nobody was going to want them. There was like one of these houses that was like run down, and there was like beat up cars in the thing, and then there was, you know, the hedges hadn't been done, and they all looked like they stunk. And I mean, none of them were, no bitch would even look at them. But for some reason, they was like, are you fucking this girl yet? Are you fucking this girl yet? And he was like, no, we're just talking, we're hanging out. I went to his place, met his mom, everything was fine. But for some reason, he started acting weird towards me. So one day I called him, and I'm like, hey, Brandon, what's going on? And he's like a totally different person. And he's basically telling me that, you know, my friend's trying to get at you, and are you trying to get at them? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even like none of your friends. Like, apparently one of his friends was saying that he wanted to try to get at me, and was trying to like make up lies and saying that he was trying to tap that or whatever it was. But I was like, Brandon, I haven't even had sex yet, and I'm sure as hell not going to be having sex with nobody in Encanto, okay? It ain't going to happen. So he basically was just listening to his friends, taking his friend's side. So he was like, yeah, you know, if you're not going to put out there right, you know, we shouldn't hang out. And I'm like, well, that's fine, whatever. So it became awkward, and like whenever I would walk by, he would basically, you know, be looking at me and like, man, you know, and I'd be like, oh, well, I didn't really care. The problem I had with a lot of these thug-ass black guys was that a lot of them didn't really practice what they preached. A lot of them were acting hard in front of their buddies, and their whole demeanor was fake. They really didn't stand for anything. A lot of them, like I said, if you're going to be a drug dealer, do it fucking well and be great at it. I don't have a problem with that. I don't judge. But the problem is a lot of them were posers. They were not about who they said they were. They were faking it to hang around niggas. But yeah, my dad threw me out of the house with the clothes on my back, y'all. The clothes on my back. And it was not a nigga, and it was not any thug motherfuckers that helped me out. It was my now husband, which is a white guy, that was there for me. And he was there for me from the beginning. He's been there for me through every fucking thing. All my thyroid problems, me being in the emergency room, me being sick, me almost getting cancer, my car accidents, my anxiety. He's been there through everything with me, okay? So my dad disowning me, I mean, I looked at it like, you know, you missed out, because you missed out on the best years. Now keep in mind, my dad has a tattoo right here on his chest, and it says Candace and Tiori. That's me and my sister's name. And it's like, how can you look at a tattoo of me every day and know that you don't call your daughter? Now, he'll post videos on Facebook. Now, my dad's name, I'm going to tell you my dad's name. Y'all can look him up. His name is Gregory Dean Bell. You could probably find him on Facebook. He's in Arizona. So if you look up Gregory Dean Bell and you look up a dark-skinned black guy, I'm sure you'll be able to find him, okay? So yeah, that's his name. You can look him up. He's with an Asian woman. So that's a whole nother story time. Yeah, I'm gonna say some shit about that, but that's a whole nother story time. But you know, I'm here in San Diego. I'm here in California. He moved away, and my sister's living up there and stuff like that. And he basically disowned me. He disowned me. When you don't talk to your daughter, and I went up there. I was even nice enough to go up there when he had a brain tumor last year and visit him after everything he had done. And he didn't talk to me after that. He acted like everything was all good when I went up there. And he was like, he had the nerve to tell me when he was in the hospital, you know, you were always kind of like Joan Jett. I'm like, you were kind of like Alanis Morissette. Like, trying to say I'm a rebel. I'm like, keep in mind, I'm not the daughter that ended up getting knocked up illegitimately. I'm not the daughter that couldn't handle boot camp and did the reserves like my sister. I'm not the daughter that worked at Kmart and then quit that job. I've worked at every fucking job known to man, and I'm not a quitter. You know, you could be whoever you want to be in Arizona, but it's hard to survive here in California. This is the real fucking hard knocks here. So, you know, it's just funny. I'm like, Joan Jett. I'm like, that's a compliment. Joan Jett's a badass bitch. And, so is Trina. So is any of the other women. Gabrielle Union. I take that as a compliment. So he's like trying to make it seem like I'm a rebel. I mean, maybe with my style, because when I went up there, he was like looking at my hair like, oh my God, what is that? And I was like, I have style. But it's just, it trips me out that he disowned his own daughter. You talking about having me on the street. He kicked me out with nothing. I didn't have a car. I was going to college, you guys. Like, I literally was doing the right thing. The cops didn't get it. No one got it. I ended up having to go to a fucking shelter downtown because of this shit. And he disowned me because I wouldn't fuck thug ass black guys, because I wouldn't follow his shit. Like, if you want me to be with a black man, why not fucking point me in a direction of good black men? Why do you want your daughters to be with fucking scum? Like, what is your deal? But this is what my dad did, and it broke my heart. And it took me years to recover from this shit. You know, this happened when I was like 18. I'm talking about, when I talk about disown, I'm talking about I could text some motherfucker right now and tell him I'm depressed and I want to kill myself, and he will not reply to me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real pain. I'm talking about a person that you think loves you, a person that is supposed to have your best interest, your father, knowing that I didn't have my mom around anymore, and he went and did me this way, to dog me out like that. I mean, he didn't even know if I was eating. He didn't know anything. And he did the same thing to my sister, but my sister conformed and had kids. And I don't have children yet and stuff like that, but I don't want to have children by some guy that's married already. I don't want to, that's not me. I don't believe in that, you know? I believe in being married. I believe in, you know, waiting to give myself to somebody that really is going to care about me. And I feel like I made the right choice. And so if that means that I lost somebody, then that's fine. But, my dad was in the military. He was never around that much anyway. You know what I mean? And, a lot of you people don't know that don't have a military spouse or don't have a military brother or don't have a military family member like a father or a mother, that they change sometimes. They're not the same people. The longer they're in the military, sometimes the more cold they get. And so could you imagine, though, like throwing your daughter out on the street, not because she's pregnant, not because she's doing drugs. She's going to college, and I just spent all my savings on books and everything because I was paying my way through community college so that I could eventually transfer to a university. And to be thrown out like that was horrible. I had to drop out of college and everything. I mean, it was devastating. You know what I mean? To have your father disown you for basically not conforming and just getting knocked out by any scumbag. I mean, as long as he's black, it's right? And so that's sickening. Well, actually, this is my husband's icy, but he's in the gym right now. So, I was like, I'm going to make this story time. It's time for me to make this, but it's devastating to have your father disown you for something so petty like that. And, I went through years of like mental shit because I blamed myself for it. Because I was like, what did I do wrong? But if the black guys in my area were all thugs and none of them were decent guys, there's nothing wrong with me liking white guys, especially if I'm part white. I mean, look at my skin complexion, you guys. This is probably like look at me. Look at my skin complexion. Like, I mean, really look at me, you guys. Like, what? He acts as if I'm like as dark as this fucking thing up here, and I started liking white guys, or I'm brown like that. It's like my mom is part white, so shouldn't have been an issue of me liking white guys, especially if the white guys that I was choosing were nicer than the black guys in my whole neighborhood. And it's really sick, that he's like that, and it's sad because he's getting older and he's in his 50s, and he disowned me, and he doesn't claim it's a disownment, but it is. On holidays, he doesn't call me. If you go on his Facebook, Gregory Bell, he'll have pictures of them having big spreads of food, and her and her Asian family, and my dad has a few of his friends, and I'm not invited. They ignore me like I don't exist. And that's pretty sad I'm like, what the fuck am I? Is this Sharia law or some shit? Like, it's fucking petty, you guys. It's petty. But I just wanted to tell you guys about this story time about my dad disowning me because I would not fuck black thugs. And it's just sad that a father would disown his daughter for the stupidest shit. But it happened to me, so I'm just letting you guys know. Peace.